elegance, and beauty. Following the World Championships, after the Olympic gold, the best figure skaters in the world meet here. Year after year, it's an event marked by the legends who created history and who wish to make once again their mark in head-to-head competition. The event is the World Professional Figure Skating Championships, and these are but some of the most memorable moments from last year's competition. The spacious Capitol Center in Landover, Maryland, which for the 12th year is the site of the World Professional Figure Skating Championships. Hello, everyone. I'm Dick Enberg, and as we prepare for all the excitement of this year's competition, we'd like to take time to enjoy some of last year's very special moments. It's a pre-holiday celebration of encore performances. Traditionally, this event has featured the very best professional skaters in the world competing at the highest level, and last year was certainly no exception. The field of competitors included Debbie Thomas, Roz Sumners, Olympic gold medal winners in the pairs, Gordieva and Grinkoff, the incomparable ice dancers from England, Torval and Dean, as well as Brian Boitano. What can you say about him? Some say he's the best ever. You remember that Boitano entered this competition as defending champion, but he arrived in Landover hampered by a hip injury, which almost forced him out of the competition. Well, when he took the ice for his technical program, the large and enthusiastic crowd here at the Capitol Center wondered if he was ready. Well, as you're about to see, Brian Boitano was not only ready, he was quite brilliant. Sandra Bezic joined me for the call. The 27-year-old Boitano opens defense of his title. To the music from Carousel, we'll learn quickly how much that hip injury is bothering him.
Opening with his signature Tano triple Lutz, we'll immediately find out whether this injury does affect him. He's on.
Boitano, after his '88 Olympic gold, turned professional. He's won this competition the last 2 years.
Coming up, the triple axel, and the only one in this event. Just perfect.
Boitano, a Bay Area native, a big fan of the 49ers and Joe Montana.
And in a situation like this where an athlete has been unable to train, he must concentrate especially hard on his technique, relying on experience. And coming up is a triple flip, triple toe combination.
Oh my, no problem with that hip. He's passed the test. sensational technical program for Brian Boitano. This audience standing agreeing with the judges as Boitano takes an impressive early lead.
And it's also a very important personal achievement for Brian. Many skaters would not have faced this challenge.
Welcome back to Landover. In the 1988 Olympic Games in Calgary, one of the highlights of the figure skating competition, as you'll recall, was that unforgettable duel between American Debbie Thomas and Katharina Witt from East Germany. And while Witt took her second gold medal and Thomas a disappointing bronze, the Canadian darling of the Games was that spunky Elizabeth Manley. Liz took the silver from Thomas and stole the hearts of skating fans throughout Canada and around the world. Last year, Manley made her debut here in this professional competition.
And this energetic, spunky style is her forte. Elizabeth has always been known for her technical ability. As is Midori Ito, there's a new style of female skating with strong jumps. Like this double axel, that's more like it.
Well, understandably, after her '88 Olympic success, she was enormously popular throughout the country and, in fact, wrote a book, her autobiography, Thumbs Up, a bestseller. Liz has explained there's some hazards to that particular move. In one program, the man wouldn't let her go. From the capital city of Canada, Ottawa, skating here near our nation's capital, Washington, D.C., Elizabeth Manley. Elizabeth Manley.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, Rosalind Sumners.
Among the favorites at these World Championships, 1984 Olympic silver medalist Rosalind Sumners. She captured the audience with this beautiful program. When we return, a pairs competition to remember. Professional Figure Skating Championships Encore performances. Perhaps the most dramatic competition of last year's championships was in the pairs. The Soviets, long dominant in the Olympics and the Worlds, were featured. Valova and Vasiliev, 1984 Olympic gold medalists, against Gordieva and Grinkov, Olympic pairs champions, 88. To heighten the drama, Canada's incredible defending champions in this event, Underhill and Martini, plus the Soviet Salichneva and Makarov and Kitty and Peter Carruthers of the United States. No question, one of the greatest collection of pairs champions ever seen. And this is different. Valova and Vasiliev, a risky program.
It certainly is. Elena, if you'll notice, is wearing a slipper on her left foot. This is their interpretation of that recurring dream all performers have of arriving at a theater late without time to fully dress.
So in essence, this entire program, she is going to have to perform on one skate.
It must be very difficult. I'm sure that right leg will be getting very tired.
Husband and wife team, they've been married since 1984. And they beat Gordieva and Grinkov in the World Championship after losing in the '88 Olympics to their fellow Soviets.
Last year in their professional debut, they took a very serious approach. By taking a comedic approach this year, I think it's even more risky because they have the added handicap of not being able to anticipate an American response.
Was that part of the routine, or did she have a problem?
I'm not quite sure.
Certainly different. Elena Valova and Oleg Vasiliev.
One, two, three.
Upbeat it is, this popular brother-sister pair skating to Good Lovin' by the Young Rascals.
Kitty and Peter have an endearing, clean-cut appeal, and they take great pleasure in performing.
Can you tell me what ailing me? You said, yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. All I really need. Now give me that good, good love. All I need is
crushing their effort, winning the silver in '84 was. The U.S. never known for great pairs success. In fact, it was the first Olympic medal since '52 won by Americans.
And it's a moment many of us will never forget. Their warmth and charm is backed by great technical ability. Watch this lateral twist. It's the best in the world.
Kitty and Peter Carruthers taking crowd appeal to the first row. As always, bold and warm, the Carruthers.
Kitty and Peter Carruthers.
Completely, the Soviets have dominated world pair skating.
Portraying mythical forest animals, there is nothing beautiful about this team in contrast to Gordiev and Grinkov. They're intense, hard-edged, with almost a unisex style. Strong. Coming up, throw double axel. No problem with that.
Throughout the 80s, this talented pair stuck in the shadows of Balaban Vasilyev and Gordieva and Grinkov. Now that we're in the 90s, they hope the world and the judges will discover them.
outrageous move. She's balanced on his head with no hands. It's a variation on an old ice show move called the Detroiter.
Dramatic and certainly different. Selezhneva Makarov. Most people were surprised when 88 gold medalists Gordieva and Grinkov of the Soviet Union retired. But amateur skating's loss was pro skating's gain, as Gordieva and Grinkov were instant hits in their first professional championship. Four-time world champions, they've grown up now, bypassing the chance at another Olympic gold medal. Remember, this is their first professional competition.
What we are all in awe of is the finer details of this couple. The way Ekaterina moves her arms, their perfect body line, the inspired expression.
As amateurs, they were considered the greatest 1.5 team.
1.5 referring to, at 14, Ekaterina being half Sergei's height. But now, 5 years later, we've watched her grow into a beautiful young woman. To Massenet's Meditation of Thais, this is an expression of young love.
And just as they are maturing as skaters, so is their love, apparently. We've learned that they, like their Soviet counterparts, will marry, have planned that for the next year. Katerina Gordieva, Sergei Grinkov caressing the ice with that performance here in Landover, Maryland.
Katerina Gordieva and Sergei Grinkov.
Next, the incomparable Torval and Dean. The most anticipated moment in last year's championships, the return of the British ice dance champions Torval and Dean. This couple literally revolutionized ice dancing with their landmark performance. Remember Bolero in winning the gold, 84 games? They had not competed here in 5 years, so this return to Landover provided the opportunity to once again test their unique qualities, their creativity. Was it still there? Well, they were equipped with an immediate surprise, skating without music in their technical program. And then they earned a perfect score in their artistic performance. Ladies and gentlemen, Torval and Dean.
They choose to skate without music, which is a simple but very clever idea and one that we've never seen in competition before.
And you can hear the reaction in the audience, some having difficulty understanding this creativity.
At first it appears to be an audio malfunction, but what it does for me, it actually heightens my sense of sound. Listen to their blades.
Christopher Dean.
Coming up, more encore performances. An Olympic gold medal, Canadian Brian Orser is still considered by many to be one of the best ever free skaters in the world. Here in Landover, he proved again that he's a big crowd favorite.
Brian has the agility of a cat, and this is going to be a fun one.
Istanbul was Constantinople, now it's Istanbul, not Constantinople. Been a long time gone, Constantinople, now it turns to light on a moonlit night. Every guy in Constantinople is in Istanbul, not Constantinople. So you and me in Constantinople should be Istanbul, even though.
No Canadian has ever done what Orser has accomplished. 8 consecutive years the national champion from 1981 through 1988.
Constantinople, you can't go back to Constantinople. Been a long time gone, Constantinople. Why did Constantinople get the works? That's cool, but it's about the turn. Istanbul, Istanbul. Istanbul, even old New York was once New Amsterdam. Why they changed it, I can't say. You just liked it better that way. Istanbul was Constantinople, now it's Istanbul, not Constantinople. Been a long time gone, not Constantinople. Why did Constantinople get the works? That's cool, but is this about the turn?
Finished second to Scott Hamilton in '84 and second to Boitano in the '88 Olympics.
So take me back to Constantinople. No, you can't go back to Constantinople. Been a long time gone, Constantinople. Why did Constantinople get the works? That's nobody's business but the turn.
High-energy, crowd-pleasing effort. Is this the year Brian Orser finally breaks through as a professional competitor?
You know, these championships, it's an event where every year we go home and saying, wish you were here. Well, we're glad you're with us today. And last year we applauded another comeback to professional competition with the return of 1980 Olympic gold medalist Robin Cousins. Against the formidable likes of Brian Boitano and Brian Orser, Cousins showcased his trademark qualities: grace, elegance. The crowd at Landover responded appropriately on its feet. Here's Robin Cousins' moving artistic program.
Nighttime sharpens, heightens each sensation. Darkness wakes and stirs imagination. Silently the senses abandon their defenses, helpless to resist the notes I write.
This piece of music, a favorite among skaters. Brian Boitano used it last year. This, from Robin, is a completely different and wonderful interpretation.
Death, music shall caress you. Hear it, feel it, secretly possess you. Open up your mind, let your fantasies unwind in this darkness which you know cannot find. The darkness of the music of the night. Close your eyes. power of the music of the night.
Using his height to advantage, Robin has a great commanding presence and a sense of theater. Coming up, his signature, the skid spiral.
Performance by Robin Cousins. Oh my, he defies the 11 years that have passed since capturing the Olympic gold medal in 1980. Welcome back.
He's a master.
Chip's encore performance. Debbie Thomas returned to Landover to defend her two-time professional title. And you might recall 2 years ago, she won the championship after arriving here the day of the event because of her academic demands at Stanford University. Yet with barely any practice, she managed to prevail. Well, last year the scenario was the same. The result was not. She finished a disappointing third. Nevertheless, her artistic performance offered evidence of the world championship qualities of this very special talent. Here's Debbie Thomas.
I've always admired Debbie's work, her drive and determination, and she knows she's not in top form now, and it must be very difficult for her even to get out there. Now we only see glimmers of that sparkle. Like the double axel, that was lovely.
It's not the same. Keep your head held high, fly like the wind. Never look behind. Life isn't fair. That's what you said. So try not to care. Little girl, don't run away so fast. Think you forgot to kiss her goodbye. Will she see me cry when I stumble and fall? Does she hear my voice in the night when I call? Wipe away all your tears, it's gonna be alright. like a lie. Don't let memories play games in your mind. She's a faded smile, frozen in time. I'm still hanging on, but doing it wrong. Can't kiss her goodbye, but I promise to try.
Another outstanding Soviet dance couple, Natalia Anenko and Genrikh Stritensky. They made their professional debut here in Landover and immediately impressed the audience with their classic style.
Natalia Anenko and Genrikh Stritensky.
Anenko and Stritensky. And we'll be back with pairs favorites Underhill and Martini from Canada when we return to the Capitol Center.
That's right. They are continuing the saga of the couple that they portrayed last year. This is his answer to her when a man loves a woman.
And you'd never know it by watching her skate, but Barbara's been desperately ill with the stomach flu. She hasn't eaten for the last 2 days.
Still more.
There's so much happening between them on the ice. People wonder about their personal lives. Well, she'll be married next August. He is married, has a 2-year-old son, Robert.
Barb was completely taken by surprise in the dressing room earlier when Ekaterina Gordieva pulled her aside to say that her dream was to skate just like Barb.
Well, that's a supreme compliment.
Sure is.
Standing ovation for the champions, Underhill and Martini. You'd never know, looking at Barbara, that she's been desperately ill. She hasn't eaten for 2 days. What a performance.
Barbara Underhill and Paul Martini.
Coming up, more Encore performances. The ladies' champion last year was Denise Bielmann of Switzerland. Renowned as a technical skater, her unique choreography seemed contradictory to some American tastes. Yet she insisted on using her own interpretations, and she was right, winning the title with this artistic performance.
A triple toe, her strength, although not as well executed as we're used to.
She has such a warm and wonderful smile. You just ache for her to use it on the ice.
She has all the ingredients. She's athletic, she moves well, she has natural rhythm. It would be nice to see her put it all together. And this is what everyone's waiting for, her famous Bielmann spin.
Denise Bielmann, the first ever Swiss woman to win a world championship as an amateur, has she won the championship in Landover today.
Denise Bielmann.
One of the most entertaining events in last year's competition, this performance by the American dance team of Wynn and Drewer.
Decision winner, Joseph George.
More Brian Boitano when we return. Encore skating performances. It's always a thrill for me personally in any sport that I cover to see the greatest talent in the world in competition. And it's especially enjoyable to follow skaters as they have matured since the successes of their amateur days. And in that theme, we'd like to end today's program with a skater who aches to be in Albertville for the Olympic Games this winter. If he was eligible, he'd probably be favored for another Olympic gold. Ladies and gentlemen, the 1988 Olympic champion, Brian Boitano.
Why can't I lay low? Why can't I say what's on me? Why don't I stay home? Get myself into some boring routine. Why can't I cool out? Why don't I put in my lips? Why do I not shout? Why is it I always shoot from the
Brian has no trouble doing any of the difficult jumps and spins. But being basically a shy guy, for him, the hardest thing he's had to learn as a pro is to look at the audience and smile.
Why is it every time I go out, I always seem to get in trouble? I guess I made an impression on somebody north of Hester and south of Bragg.
Well, he's got the audience smiling.
So in my small way, I'm a big man on Mulberry Street. I don't mean all day, only at night when I'm light on my feet. What else have I got that I'd be trying to hide? Maybe a blind spot I haven't seen from the sensitive side.
Thank you for joining us on this special presentation of Encore Performances. For Sandra Bessick, this is Dick Enberg. So long, everyone.